Hey y'all, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chrissy, and I shouldn't be saying this, but Toby and Fat are still relationship goals. Y'all, I started seeing their video resurface and go viral about a month ago, but I wasn't posting on YouTube at the time. So I was just sitting over here irritated as hell because I'm like, everyone's posting all these negative reactions about their love story when I'm like, is something wrong with me? Like, y'all know I always ask myself internally, is something wrong with me? Because I don't see an issue here. And I'm just like, nah, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with y'all. And okay, but seriously, it's probably nothing wrong with none of us. We just got different opinions, and everyone can live their life how they want to live it, and aim for their expectations that they have with people and their love life. Do that, and I'm gonna do what mine, and we will live a happy life. But when I was seeing all these reactions, I really wanted to comment so bad and just give a different perspective and a perspective from a woman because I mean, a lot of women kind of tend to all think the same, and nothing's wrong with that because we all have like similar experiences. But I feel like the internet needs to hear other experiences and just real life, you know. Y'all hate anyways. Y'all know y'all hate the truth. Y'all hate reality. So I was like, you know what? I need to wake these people up and just share my thoughts on this situation coming from a woman's perspective. So this video, I'm going to be talking about their initial video that resurfaced their love story. Then I want to talk about people's reactions to that. And then I want to finish with talking about Toby and Fat's response to the criticism with their video undressing criticism. So we have a lot I want to touch on here. I didn't write anything down, I'm going straight off the dome. And we just gonna see. We're gonna see what I gotta say. I mean, I know what I gotta say, but we're gonna see if it's organized. Okay, so first things first. When I first saw their video resurface, and I just saw like, random channels talking about it, I was like, well, damn, everyone's going hard. They're like mad. Like they were like almost angry at like their love story. And I honestly, y'all, I never even knew about Toby. I just found out about Toby maybe like some months ago with like whatever song that went viral, I think during the pandemic or something. Didn't even listen to it. Didn't even listen to it. So, and I just saw like his like Instagram maybe. I just saw like this little clip going viral of him, and they were like, "Oh, this person's from Houston," and I was like, "Dang, I'd never be knowing like these people that be from Houston. It's like Houston is just too big." But anyways, I was like, "Okay, cool. He's from Houston." That's all I thought about him. Didn't even know he was married. I never even clicked on his page. Like, just never. I'm not a big music person, so it never ever interests me. But what interests me was the drama. The drama reels me in. When I saw all the responses, I wanted to see for myself to see if I agree with everyone because I don't know. I'm just not about to look at somebody's opinion on something and just be like, oh, fuck them. They a horrible couple. How could he do her like that? I'm like, well, let me see what's so bad. Like, let me go see for myself because I really wanted to I was just nosy. I was like, damn, I just want to know, like, how could it be this bad and they're still together? Like. So I looked at actually, y'all, I had time that night. I'm a night owl. I looked at all their videos of the love story. I did. Oh, it was long to just really look through a series like that just to get to form an opinion. It was like, am I doing homework on these niggas? It was a lot. But I just really wanted to know. And I'm glad I did because their story, I don't know, I just like it more so because it's just real and it's honest. And that's why I talked about in maybe some other videos, or I know I did a podcast. Shout out to Everybody Mad Podcast. I did a podcast where I just really talked about I think people suffer from separating, social media lifestyle and real life reality. Because if you look at real life reality, if you look at the people around you, the relationships that have formed around you, if you look at your raggedy ass parents, because y'all know most people, most marriages that when they've been married forever, and these people that become from these two parent households, keep it real, they be a little, damn near almost a little more messed up. Okay, we just got to be honest. So if you look at your raggedy ass parents' relationship, if you look at all your relationships, your friends, your family, your aunties, like if you just look at everyone around you in real life and you look at their love story, it's just not perfect. It's not cookie cutter. Most of the time, it really don't even just be sweet, honestly. if your parents are honest with you, some of y'all parents, have only gotten married off the sole fact that they just got pregnant. Like, damn, let's just, I want to just be there for my kid, so I'm gonna stay with you. But not in love, not happy, none of that. Not friends, none of that. And you were raised by them. You feel like you came out decent. You feel like they have a decent marriage. So just what is honestly the problem? If these people's relationship wasn't even that, they literally stated over and over how they were such friends. They were just friends, best friends. Like, so I don't know. To me, their foundation, which they always go back to, is friendship. So that's already one up, and to me, that's already a positive. But that was me. I was ranting right there. I had to throw some shade at y'all. That was me ranting. But back to like how I really feel. Their video, they started out saying how Fat basically kind of pursued Tobe. Basically how she just liked him more than he liked her at the time. What a lot of people were mad about in the video was him basically saying like, I was not into you. Or people were not mad about the honesty of it. I think people were mad about his delivery. And that's just something I want to point out, is that it's really crazy that people will ask you for the truth. They'll ask you for something, and not even them, like, not even wanting to accept the truth. That's a whole nother thing. But they'll ask you for something, and it's like, if you don't do it or deliver it exactly how they want you to, then it's a problem. Then it like that's why I don't understand. Like, everyone was just mad about one YouTuber on the platform was like, Tobe never got to the point, we never saw in the videos where he ever got softer with Fat, or he ever, handled her what she would say is like softer or whatever it could be. But the crazy thing about it is that's you trying to make him be who you want him to be. That's you trying to make him do something else. Like, that's not him. He is who he is. Fat loves who he is. She loves his delivery. She loves, like, whatever it is, however they talk to each other, his arrogance that people wanted to say he had, like, whatever it is, that's what makes him him. Like, his directness, assertiveness, dominance, whatever, adjectives we want to use to describe him and his delivery, that's him. Like, that's just who he is. And you may kind of take offense to it, or it may be a little too quote unquote harsh for you, but that's not their situation. Honestly, the crazy thing about it is, even when they addressed all the criticism, even Fat never mentioned his delivery in anything, because I mean, that's not something that may be an issue to her or something that she sees as anything. That's just how that nigga talk. Like, that's just what it is. Y'all act like y'all don't have any friends that are assholes. Like, that are just like, you like, this nigga asshole. Like, he got a smart mouth. Like, y'all act like y'all just don't know people like that. That's strange. And since they have a foundation of friendship, Fat knows his intentions. She knows his delivery. She knows, like, he don't mean no harm by what he say. He's just being direct. So that was one thing I wanted to comment on. Another thing that I really wanted to dig deep in is everyone was just so mad that, like, this woman was friend zoned. And it's just so crazy, because if you just flip the exact scenario on a man, these niggas, oh, poor babies, they going out bad every day. Niggas get friends on. A nigga was just friend zoned right now. Every 5 minutes, a man is friend zoned. Like, come on. Like, if you think about, I know for me, if you think about how many dudes that have, like, set out through your relationships, y'all, I done had some people sit out through my relationships. Like, they like, man, she gonna see one day. Man, I'm gonna be right here because Alondra, she gonna see. Like, them niggas will sit, oh, okay, oh, you with that nigga today? Oh, you together? Oh, y'all happy? You in a relationship? All right, I'll give it a year. I'll give it 6 months. And that nigga still gonna be my friend. He's still gonna be kind of in available, or not even available to even play him, like somebody waiting for me. But people don't, like, if you have a genuine friendship with people and love for people, they really allow you to be yourself. They really allow you to go through whatever you need to go through on your own. They really allow you to, like, experience your life and what comes with that on your own. They don't pressure you with anything. And listening to Fat and Tobe, it really just gave me the definition of, like, love is patient. We're going to get into love a little bit later, but I want to give y'all a little story about myself and how it resonated with me, how their story resonated with me. So I would say I probably was friend zoned with my first relationship. Um, I mean, I think I definitely was. I mean, yeah, he ain't want me. He ain't want to be with me. Yeah, I met a dude, which my first relationship, you know, those who know, whatever, whatever. But, and I say all that to say, this was my first relationship. We ended up being together, what I used to say was 4 years, but really 2 of those years, we were really just friends. And the last 2 years, we were like actually an official couple. Now, with that situation was, I saw him, I liked him, like everything. I was like, oh yeah, period. Off rip, like I just like loved him. I liked him. I was there for him through everything. Like it was literally just like fat. It was literally like, okay, you don't want to be with me. That's fine. You don't want a relationship right now. That's fine. But you're my friend. You're my best friend. Like I'm still gonna be your friend. At the time with Fat and Tobe, it sounds like they were younger. So she had 5 years to not even waste, but she had 5 years to go through that. Like she did. She had time. You know, it was way more patience back then because they were younger. The difference with my situation is my boyfriend at the time was doing the same thing that Tobe was doing. You know, back and forth. Okay, no, I want to be with you. Okay, no, I don't. Well, you know, it's a little different, but it was just a person who wasn't ready ultimately. And the difference is Tobe got ready. Like, you know, he not even got ready. He got understanding of, you know, why he was having those feelings he had. He broke down everything, just they broke everything down like so nicely in their video explaining how, you know, love, he didn't need to have those butterfly feelings. That's a modern day view, something he said, a modern day view of love. Love is a command. You got to look at these people. They're very much spiritual. They're very much, you know, into their Christianity. So they're not looking at things like how we all are looking at things like, oh, well, you need to take me out. You need to surprise me, and you know, you need to just tell the world about me. And if you make one little mistake, it's over. It just wasn't like that. I feel like their love really came from a deeper place of just unconditional love and purity, which, whew, unfortunately, y'all, a lot of people really do not understand what unconditional love is. Like they really just don't understand that. Like they really, a lot of people was looking at their video like they were like Fat was being walked all over and just used and abused, and she stuck it out with a nigga when you just supposed to move on. It was like, but did y'all forget that was her best friend? She literally, they just kept saying like they were friends. So it wasn't even like a matter of like moving on. It was just, okay, you not ready. Like, yes, she may have feelings. She may have got her heart broken with him before, but at the core, even he loved her as well. Also, I'm going to be bouncing all over the place because I ain't writing no notes. But even like when he talked about um the way she loved him made him love her. Y'all, I don't know. It's kind of almost like you as a woman, have you never loved a nigga? Like, now, don't get me wrong. We probably love the wrong nigga, clearly, because they're gone today. But when you was loving somebody, you know, you just loving this dude, you loving this dude. I'm like, man, why don't he just notice me? Why don't he just appreciate me? Appreciate that, dang, like I'm the best one in your corner. Like all them other girls you think you like, all your homeboys, why don't he recognize that I'm the best one for him? Like y'all really gonna act like y'all ain't never been in that position. So if you was in that position before, if that dude would have, and I'm not talking about no toxic nothing. I'm not talking about nothing toxic. Because for me, the only situation I could compare to was my first relationship. Because I don't feel like it was really toxic. I think it was just a person who wasn't ready. So we're not talking about no toxic situationship. You chasing a nigga and he don't want you, like for real, and he don't care about you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you really love a person. Y'all really have a strong foundation. Y'all really have a friendship. But for whatever reason, they are not ready. Like, not meaning for a relationship, they may not be ready in life. They may not have themselves together to understand the capacity of love that you really have for them. So if you've ever felt like that with somebody and that person wasn't ready, think about her situation. The only difference was Tobe, like, not snapped, but he was able to recognize that and be like, you know what? Let me go get this. So I'm saying all that to say, if you would have been in that same situation, but had your dude recognized it sooner and appreciate you sooner, that would be your story. if my dude at the time would have recognized me and everything I really felt for him and was there for him sooner, you know, I'd be a housewife right now. Like, the only difference with me is I did choose, I really got tired. And when I move on from people, I can't go back. I really just move on and I want something new. Like, I want something else. With Fat, she was still available and open to taking Tobe back. And so here they are today. Before I get too lost in my thoughts, I want to touch on, because it was so many little things I want to touch on, and like not really elaborate, but just little stuff I want to mention. So Tobe, remind me to talk about when he said flee. Remind me to say that. But first I want to talk about just how he was talking about how she dressed, and he mentioned Charlotte Russe, stuff like that. I want to speak on that because I'm from Houston, he from Houston, and y'all like to play. Y'all like to play. Houston, niggas from Houston and people from Houston are beautiful. Like, Houston has beautiful women. Of course, Fat is beautiful. I'm not saying that. But we got bad bitches out here, like, period. You can either recognize it or you can play. But Houston got bad bitches out here. And I'm saying that to say, when you know the aesthetic of Charlotte Russe, like the girls that used to wear Charlotte Russe, like the girls that would like wear baby fat puff jackets, like whatever the little stereotypes or like the little shadiness we have about how people dress and stuff like that, it's like, stop playing. Like, yes, no dude, like dudes I know, like these niggas out here from Houston, like they like, I'm not gonna say similar to Atlanta because I'm not from Atlanta. I don't know, but just think about in Atlanta how like everyone out there, everyone knows Atlanta. Like, people are like lavish. Atlanta is more luxury. You got all your women and dudes out there. They're gonna be wearing name brand designer. Like, they're really a designer type city. Houston is more of like a Jordans. Like, you may have like a little swag, a little like little edge to your wardrobe, and the girls are going to dress like, now girls can definitely switch it up and wear Jordans and wear heels, but the women, they gonna be coming, they gonna be hitting hard. Like, you can't be out here not on your shit. They can dress pretty, like they like to be cute, they like they nails done, hair done, toes done. Like, that's just what it is. So for her, and that's why it's emphasis on, she was from, I think, Michigan. I'm originally from Ohio. When you're from smaller towns, you have a small town look. Like, we gonna sit here and lie, or we not? So when he mentioned her wearing Charlotte Russe, I didn't even take it as like, oh my God, he just was, dogging her out. Everything about her he didn't like. He was just being honest. Like, that's not, you gonna meet a nigga he come from wherever city he come from, Orange, Texas. He from all these dudes that be coming from anywhere, like they from the country, or he done moved here from North Carolina. He gonna have a different swag. Even a nigga from New York may be wearing like baggy jeans, but you from Houston, you like niggas that wear slim fit. Why you playing? So I didn't take any offense to that. It was funny because that's their story. Like, dang, babe, like, you remember you couldn't used to dress? You was wearing Charlotte Russe. Like, yeah, I was not feeling you. Like, she probably was looking country. She probably had an outdated look. Doesn't take away from her beauty. Definitely doesn't take away from her inner beauty, who she is. So that was really funny, and like, I just felt like I resonated with that because from Houston, people really be coming hard. They really be cute. They be coming. So it's like, I get what he was saying. Like, she was just looking probably outdated. Like dang, like, man, that ain't what I'm looking for. People really care about how people dress, and that could be maybe a little shallow area, but it's just something that attracts you to people. So that's all it was. Back to when he said he wanted her to flee. Once again, y'all may not have liked his delivery in that exact statement in that moment, but I don't think y'all like the word choice of him saying flee. But if you look at his track record, if you look at his music, if you look at how he talks, flee doesn't seem like a strange word for him to use. Me in my day-to-day life, I don't use the word flee because I don't. Like, that's not my vocabulary. That's not how I talk. But looking at his music, looking at how he talks, it sounds like flee is a normal just word that can easily come out of his mouth because that's just his like vocabulary. So if you don't like that, then I mean, that's just you not liking him. You don't gotta like him. He got fat. Like, so it's just like, You can't make him be what you want him to be. Like, he's not for you. So I just feel like people gotta really just accept people. Like, if they not over there no abusive relationship and everything is fine, and like they said, it's healthy, they love each other. Clearly, it got a little bit of health outline that we can see from not even knowing them, because they communicate with each other. Listen to how they communicate with each other. Listen to how they did the undressing criticism. Like, they talk, like, So it's like, you can't make him be who you want him to be. You just accept him for who he is. But I mean, everyone can't do that. So on to the undressing criticism video. I liked it. I actually liked the fact that they even addressed it, because they don't have to. I like that they addressed it. I like the way they did it. You know, he must like writing poetry. Like, he's a writer. They're artistic type people. So I really like the way they even presented their response. And it is just really hard for me to like understand how like no one sees like positivity in their relationship. Like, I read the comments on a lot of these reaction videos, and if you read the comments, it's honestly sad. Like, women are like, I could never like bury me alive before I ever have a struggle love like this. Struggle love. Like, I don't ever want to have to fight for a man. Like, if this is where the bar is, if this is the bar, then the bar, is like so low. But they don't see that he chooses her every day. He honors her. They don't see how he involves her in every single thing. Like, honestly, y'all, it's so crazy, because the way that they're so involved, like, she's in all of his music videos, she is his shadow, not in like an offensive way, but like literally, like, when you see him, you see her, and vice versa. But it's like, isn't that what y'all say y'all want from y'all man? Is like to just be so like, in love, or not even in love, because we're not gonna use that term, because love is a command. But like, isn't that what y'all say y'all want from y'all relationship? Is like that closeness like that? And it's like they have that closeness, but y'all talking down on it. So it's like, well, what do y'all really want? Because regardless of what it took for them to get here, they have it, and it looks more solid and put together than other relationships we see. So what's the problem just because they had a different start? And another thing too, first of all, I want to make sure I say this clearly. I see nothing wrong with how they came about. I just don't see anything wrong with it. Second, fellow YouTuber was like, if Fat could have done it over in hindsight, I think even Fat said she wouldn't have, or whatever. That doesn't justify anything, because if we all lived in hindsight, would we be living? Would we have a life? Wouldn't everything be perfect if we knew better? Like, if we could do quote unquote the right thing before, like first, wouldn't that, what experiences would we have? Like, nothing would be flawed. So that's unrealistic. We can't live in hindsight. We don't live in hindsight. So to even say that and use that as justification as, see y'all, that's why y'all don't go through this stuff. That's why you don't do this, because in hindsight, you wouldn't have done it. In hindsight, I would have never stopped posting on YouTube. In hindsight, I would have never dropped out of school. But life isn't about in hindsight. Life is about everything happens for a reason. Life is about divine intervention. Life is about you are where you are supposed to be. Life is about you are dealt cards. You make choices, and you make the best of what comes with those choices. So to just justify I don't understand it. I'm not trying to bash it. I'm giving my opinion the same way everyone has had their opinion. And this is just my opinion. I just don't understand. Like, I just don't see it. I feel like it's just this fairy tale, unrealistic way of thinking. And I feel like I am qualified to say that because I live in a fairy tale. I love fairy tales. You don't think that I want all of this beautiful love stories that like people talk about that are just like one in a million? We all want that. But the crazy thing about it is if you focus on your own love story, focus on your own story and not trying to compare it to other people and not trying to make the nigga you meet act like the nigga you seen online or the nigga you seen on TV or your uncle because your uncle really loved his wife and how they came about. If you stop trying to make things be something else and just accept them for what they are and appreciate who someone is and appreciate y'all's story and y'all situation, you will have that at the end of it all. You will have your beautiful love story. So that's just really strange to me. And that's why I think maybe it comes down to like comparison and the way everyone's like, oh my God, this is struggle love, struggle love. Struggle love is only like if something is unhealthy. You know, if these people love and respect each other, that's not struggle love. That's them like going through life. That really is. Even how Fat and Tobe took a break and they focused on themselves individually. You cannot say that that is not like people like that's love being patient. They were able to separate, actually work on themselves individually. But see, the difference is when a lot of us separate, and maybe that's a break, or maybe that's really we broken up and we done. We repeat patterns. So with them, for example, they could have separated and came right back together, unhealed, not in a clear headspace. Y'all, when they took that break, Fat literally said she got a better job. She started back doing her artwork. She was teaching. She literally said that she was so like she was focused on herself. A lot of times we take these breaks and we don't really focus on ourselves. We don't really better ourselves. We don't really put ourselves first. So then we meet the next person and we doing the same thing over. We doing the same mistakes. And then our mindset is, oh, niggas ain't shit. Y'all know I love saying niggas ain't shit. But I got to be honest with myself. Is it niggas ain't shit or is it my mindset? So it boils back down to being honest with yourself. One last thing I'm going to say, not even necessarily about Fat and Tobe, but one last thing I want to say just about this whole struggle love concept. I think it's a cop out for people not wanting to, one, work in their relationships, and second, it's like they have this guilt if they do work on their relationship, if they do stay through a few tough times, whether those tough times be super crazy, if people do stay through that, then it's like people like make them feel bad for staying through that. Like, girl, no. If he cheated, if he did this, if anyone did anything, you just leave them. That's not the case for everyone. I'm going to actually make that a whole separate video because I know y'all gonna hate me when I talk about cheating. But so I'm gonna leave that for another video because I gotta make sure y'all like really understand my views on that. But people bashed Tobe and Fat's video the same way they bashed Will and Jada. And the underlining thing I see that people are missing in both stories is unconditional love. And they're just missing that. The same with Will and Jada, how they had their foundation was friendship. I really think that people really miss what it means to really just love someone. Not wanting anything from them. You just love them. You care about them. You want the best for them. It ain't about you put them before you and they just walk all over you and you're their doormat. It's not about that. It's about you just have genuine love for them, patience, and kindness with them. That's really all it is. And if you register that as struggle love or as sticking through too much, that is fine. That's why you leave whoever you with, and you could tolerate what you could tolerate. Other people have different thresholds. It's the part where you bash and you shame someone for what they can handle and what they're fine with. And when I say what they're fine with and what they can handle, it's like not a thought. It's it's kind of smooth for them because they have that capacity. Like that's their capacity of love. We all have different capacities. So to round it off, at the end of the video of Undressing Criticism, where Fat was like, ultimately y'all need to heal. Like, y'all, you cannot be mad and say that, oh, we don't need to heal. What you talking about? Why is what they're doing making you so angry? And if ultimately they're here today, they're standing strong today, so now we know the outcome, What's the problem? What's the problem? I don't know, y'all. What do I know? Y'all make sure you are following me on Instagram at the real Chrissy T. Also follow me on Twitter at I run __ my mouth, because I do. And I will catch y'all in my next video. Until next dilemma. Bye, y'all.